Ada! What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? How's the Road Break family? Today we have our highlights or our thoughts on both the things that took place during the Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live. How's it going, Ryan?
Could be better. Had a couple seizures yesterday, but what are you gonna do?
Live, right? It's live.
So, but yes, we're gonna cover Monday Night Raw as well as SmackDown.
What are your thoughts about it?
Well,
Both shows.
Going back to the signing of Paul Heyman and of Eric Bischoff to be the directors of the shows, I think that was more of a publicity stunt than anything now. Now, again, this is only the first shows of their reigns, but I did not see really any change in either show. Maybe some little things here and there. We can always start with Monday Night Raw here, and obviously a lot of people were buzzing about the beginning of the show, Bobby Lashley versus Braun Strowman, and how they went through, if you want to call it the Tigatron, whatever you want to call it,
the LED, the board, or Titantron. First match of the day, of the night, I should say.
So, I mean, if you want to call that something different, that's fine. I do not call it anything different. It's been done before, with all the booms and bangs and everything. Plus, this is, again, hurting Strowman's character more and more as he continues to do it. I think his character is beyond being rescued. So, I guess no harm done there, since, this man will never be a WWE champion and never be a Universal champion, probably never be an Intercontinental champion.
He will never win a championship.
Yeah, so, his greatest achievement was winning the tag titles with Nicholas at WrestleMania. So, that's a pretty sad statement to say, but the man, what I'm simply trying to say is, I don't see anything different going on with the Braun Strowman character here. This was done to garner some headlines, to, think, or make people think that, oh, this is, something huge going on here, where really this has been...
It wasn't.
It wasn't. I mean, this has been done before. It might not have had the special effects to the way this one was done, but it's been done many times before. And, the guys got carted off. Okay, that's fine. I thought it was a nice show opener, but the fact of the matter is, the only good thing that came out of this was Corey Graves saying "holy shit" and not being bleeped out.
Yep.
I enjoyed that, but I knew that this was not going to be a genuine thing or a sign of genuine change when they showed it about 400 times that entire night. They just kept replaying the clip throughout the entire night. So by the end of the night, they had shown it 400 times. So that showed me that, first of all, it wasn't legit. Which, obviously, if you're a wrestling fan, you knew right from the beginning it was not legit. But I had people tweeting, I had people on Instagram with under the picture and stuff. People are like, I didn't know whether to believe that was real or not. You must be a fucking imbecile if you thought that was real.
Yeah, I feel that it was a nice beginning of a show, because normally we're getting used to like a long, 20-minute promo between the two people that are going to be fighting in the main event. So the fact that they started with a match, false count anywhere, it was good.
Yes.
I feel that, once again, like we said in the previous video, Braun Strowman's character is very still, because we don't see a progression when it comes to wrestling ability. We don't see a evolution when it comes to character. Once again, he does the same stick every single time. And the match with Bobby Lashley is the same match that we saw in Super Showdown, the same match that we saw 2 weeks ago when they fought. So to me, the idea is already overdone.
Yeah.
It's so overdone. And yes, they broke the Titantron or the LED monitor, whatever it was. But at the same time, to me, that doesn't make me say, oh yeah, this show is great.
No.
And again, the This Is Awesome is a chant that is way, 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 way past their time. Every little thing that happens, oh, this is awesome.
I agree.
That chant should be used for things that are actually awesome. And to me, seeing Braun Strowman going through Titantron or just breaking things is very usual.
Yeah,
because that's what all they do with him.
Yeah, they don't do anything different with him.
He's not a good promo, so he doesn't talk.
Nope.
He only destroys things. That's his thing. So to me, in order for him to become kind of like relevant again, he needs to turn heel.
I would
He needs
agree.
to turn heel, and he needs to just find like a different character for him, a different stick. Like kind of like make himself more like Undertaker wise. And then you ask me how Undertaker, like just he talks very little and he just attacks people, like a heel that like is completely dominant, rather than the Braun Strowman that we see right now. That okay, we know that he can beat anybody, but if he fights Roman Reigns is gonna win. So for me, I feel that like it was a good beginning of a show. For many people, hope was the answer through this whole segment. To me, again, he gets, like you said, Carter of the building. Same thing with Bobby Lashley. To me, it's like it's been done so many times. When it came to Brock Lesnar, when it came to Kane, it's the same thing all over and over again. The one good thing, again, Corey Graves saying that, holy shit, at least it made me think of Taz when the ring broke.
Mm-hmm.
So you can tell there's maybe a little bit of Paul Heyman into that segment. I don't want to say it's 100% Paul Heyman, but maybe at 10% you can see that was Paul Heyman at the beginning. Then what happened after that?
Well, there's a number of things that they have laid out here. I don't think it's all in
The right order.
Yeah. Because right now they have Samoa Joe and the War Raiders defeating the New Day via submission. This one pissed me off. First, I think it was just supposed to be the War Raiders taking on the New Day. I remember Joe came out then and started to beat up, I think, Kingston.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they had to make it into a 6-man tag.
Because that's WWE.
Yeah. These two are going to be in a fucking title match 2 weeks from now, and you can't keep them away from in-ring competition.
From each other, yes.
You know, that, to me, is complete bullshit. You know, and then, to make it worse, you're having your WWE champion being choked out by Samoa Joe and making your WWE champion look weak.
Mm-hmm.
Where you could have just simply had the War Raiders taking on the New Day and had the New Day lose and have the War Raiders look good.
That's what it was needed. That's what it was needed because like the War Raiders or the Viking Raiders, however you want to call it, like they need to be portrayed different in Monday Night Raw. They need to be the number one contenders to the tag titles.
Would be
They
nice.
need to go against the Revival.
Where the fuck are the tag champs?
Yeah, where's the Revival? Your own tag team champions. They're not featured on the show.
The Revival, the tag team champions?
Yeah, the Revival are the tag team champions. Yes.
So they actually beat Kurt Hawkins and...
Yes.
Okay.
See, we have that.
I don't even...
He didn't even know. That's
how they don't even treat the tag titles as a competent champion.
That's how much disinterest is in the current state of WWE. That like some people that watch the show frequently don't even know where the tag champs are. Live TV, guys, there you go. You cannot get better than this. But when it comes to that, once again, I feel that like why, like you said, why Samoa Joe has to choke him out, has to choke out Kofi Kingston, and he said it's the first loss that he has ever since the Elimination Chamber. So you tell me, why would they do that? That to me is an indication that he's gonna retain at Extreme Rules.
No doubt.
And and Joe is gonna look like an idiot one more time.
No doubt. But I simply think this is people in WWE trying to get people excited for that match, even though nobody is excited for it because they all know the outcome of it.
Yeah, and also they know that like Samoa Joe might be a great heel, but when it comes to like delivering, he doesn't deliver. He doesn't win the main matches. So it was a good match overall. I feel that, like, of course WWE makes the three man tag when they shouldn't. Like you said, leave the War Raiders, and leave the New Day by themselves. You don't need Kingston. You don't need Joe. Have them have a stare down, and that's it. You don't need to, like, let him attack you and make them a match on its own. And then Joe, of course, he does the coquina clutch and then done. So you don't need that.
I agree.
What is the next topic?
Next topic was talking about Drake Maverick and having his wife there.
The 24/7 title. The 24/7 title to me is such a joke that, like, the fact that, like, they don't even fight for it is terrible. It's supposed to be a championship. You're supposed to have a ring, and in the ring, fight for it. Not that outside, backstage. Drake Maverick is actually taking his wife to the honeymoon. I think it was, right?
Dude, I actually will turn off the television when these skits go on.
Or he changes the channel.
I will. To me, that title is so worthless. Okay? My dump that I take up in the toilet is worth more than that title.
I think so. Mainly because nobody really understands how much of a joke that title is. The fact that, like, R-Truth has been, like, 9 times already a 24/7 champion is so bullshit.
Look who the people are that chase after him.
Yeah. EC3, Robert Roode,
All considered jobbers.
Cedric Alexander, which is really painful
It is?
for me to see him like that. Just running and running, chasing for somebody that he's never going to be able to find. And R-Truth lost the title this time to Drake Maverick because he hit him from the back with a suitcase, I think it was, or a luggage bag. And R-Truth loses the title, and Drew Maverick, or is Drake Maverick, is the new 24/7 champion. He takes his wife and he goes to his honeymoon. Do we really enjoy this? No.
I hate it.
This title is not needed. I remember Mick Foley, when he introduced the title, he said, yeah, the third hour is going to be more raw. The third hour is going to be more enjoyable. The third hour is for this title to be defended. What happened? I really don't know.
If I were them, Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff, I know they're not big fans of each other, but one thing I would sit down, both of them, and discuss getting rid of that title.
It should be. It should be, because it was a title that came out thanks to NBC Universe. So you don't need that title.
Nope.
They said the third hour is bullshit, so make sure you fix it. And they fix it, of course, introducing a new title. It's not even defended at 10 o'clock. That's where it should be. Because that way you create some kind of an expectation from it. Oh, it's about to be 10 o'clock. The 24/7 title is going to be defended. No. Is defended throughout the whole show. So to me, I don't really feel that, like, that title is needed at all. I really don't think so. I think that there's better ways to portray those kind of mid cards rather than just put them in the chase for this fucking bullshit title that nobody really wants to have.
I agree.
What was next after that?
Antonio Cesaro destroys Noble Jose.
That wasn't even a match.
Yeah.
He beat him up outside of the ring.
With the conga line,
yes,
right?
Yes. What the hell is No Way Jose in the WWE?
Well, I can tell you he was something in NXT.
He was a little bit of a something. He was never
but to me, he should have been a mainstayer in NXT. He should never have come up to the main roster.
Yeah.
Because a guy like that is just another goofy cartoon character instead of being an actual, character or a gimmick. Okay? For those of you who think characters or gimmicks work, some of them do, but they need to have a realism to them. Okay? Somebody running around with a conga line behind them, that's not a real gimmick. Okay? You know, there are certain gimmicks that work, that are real, that I just really enjoy. But, you know, it's like, take The Undertaker, for example. Probably the greatest gimmick of all time.
Yep.
Okay? That, on paper, probably sounds like the dumbest thing of all time. But for some reason, it worked. He came out, people gravitated towards him, everybody was in lore of him, and everybody just loved that character. And it always worked. Through the shittiest of matches and through the greatest of matches, that man made that gimmick work.
The Undertaker made his character work because he understood what The Undertaker was supposed to be about. And like you said, he went through shit as The Undertaker.
Some of the shittiest matches I've ever seen.
And the shittiest moments belong to him.
Yes.
He might be one of the best wrestlers in the whole time, but like he had to carry a lot of shit.
No doubt, dude. You and I remember Yokozuna, coffin match, Kamala, what else?
Yep, casket match.
Casket match.
Yeah. Who else? Giant Gonzalez.
Giant Gonzalez.
Giant Gonzalez was another one. So, in those aspects, I just feel that why don't they try to portray the mid-card a little better in WWE?
They have a lot of pieces there that will work. And they just don't understand how valuable the mid-card can be.
Exactly. To me, that's the problem. That's one of the main problems.
Because this man right here, Cesaro, could be, to me, a champion. And I'm talking about WWE champion. Get rid of the... For me, I'm hoping Paul Heyman comes out and says, no more Universal Champion. Okay, we're going back to World Heavyweight Champion. Something like that. Because I'm tired of the fucking Universal title. That fucking title is awful.
If they do the European Championship, I would be fine with that. Or at least give something better, but not 24/7 title.
Yeah.
Now, you don't even feel excited about the name. You don't feel excited about anything.
Why would you?
They took your excitement away from you. That's the biggest thing. Watching these shows is, at points, very difficult to watch because how bad the product is.
Yep.
So what happened after that?
Next, this is something that I got really upset about. Charlie Caruso introduced us to Street Profits.
That, I don't even know why they were there. But they did have the NXT Championships, I think.
Again, though, this is another thing that contradicts itself. Why could they have the tag titles and the War Raiders, when they were tag team champions,
they didn't have them?
They couldn't bring
They
them
didn't have them. Yeah, that's to me, that's one of the things that it doesn't make any sense for WWE.
No.
But of course, they will just do it and they just be like, oh, fuck it, we don't care.
So, and two, okay, they got called up, but they didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know, they just got called up and they're not going to wrestle, and they're going to stay in NXT, or what? I certainly hope they're going to stay in NXT. I don't think they're ready for the main roster, to be buried and not be able to be a tag team anymore. Just knowing Vince, that's what he'll do. They'll just split them up, and then they'll be like, try to do Edge and Christian or something, and have like a rivalry between two of these guys.
He always does it. He does it with everybody. It's Edge and Christian, Beeble and Bubba, everybody. Everybody that is a tag, you always end up fighting your tag partner. Even Shane and The Miz. They were tag champs. So for that reason, there you go. There you have it.
Oh,
there you have it. So then, where do we go from there?
Let's see.
I think it's Becky Lynch, right?
Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre
Oh
were
my
out for a
gosh,
promo.
that's another idea that nobody really cares. Every promo that Shane O'Mac and Drew McIntyre do is really, really
Millions of people just reach
hard
for
to
the
watch.
remote.
Really hard to watch. Why? Because people are tired of Shane O'Mac.
No doubt.
We love him. We think he was good at some point in his career, but right now he's old.
Early 2000s.
He really needs to be doing these things. Right?
He just needs to be gone. Backstage. Nobody needs to see him. I was fine as watching him as GM, but I don't want to see him wrestle anymore. I don't want to see him, out there anymore. No longer. I just want to see him gone.
Yeah. To me, the fact that like they were talking crap about the Undertaker and Roman Reigns, then the Undertaker came out. He cut a promo on both of them. Usual stick, nothing really meaningful. Oh,
No.
you're gonna rest in peace. Sign of a being choked up, whatever. Your head cut off, and then of course the Undertaker raises his hand and he leaves. I think. I'm sorry. I think to me, they they just don't know what to do with him. Or he either signed for a certain amount of matches, and one of his commitments is just do this.
For me, dude, this is a waste of time for The Undertaker. And you all know, if you have watched previous videos, The Undertaker should have retired, in my opinion, back after he beat Triple H in Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania. That, for me, would have been the best time. And then I did say I maybe would have given him Punk. Other than that, the man should have retired at WrestleMania undefeated and not be seen again, except for the Hall of Fame induction.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's what they should have done with him. But you know how WWE is. They don't really care. Their product is not as good as it's supposed to be, and it's taking forever for them to either do something about it or to realize that the product's bad. What happened after that?
Next, it says Lacey Evans defeats Natalya via pinfall. I don't think much needs to be said here. I mean, now again, I don't know why they keep pushing Lacey Evans. She's not a good wrestler.
No, she's not.
I see why it's at Natalya's. Natalya's been there forever, and she takes pinfalls for everybody, so I know why it's Natalya that takes the pinfall here. But for me, I don't know why you keep pushing Lacey Evans. She needs to be out of the title picture. I get why it's done. Extreme Rules coming up. She needs to have a nice win, I guess. But, after Extreme Rules, you need to dial it back big time when it comes to Lacey Evans.
I feel that she doesn't really need that many opportunities for a championship. There's other women that they need to get those opportunities.
And that's where comes in Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff.
And now when Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman's job is to be able to secure those opportunities for those women. So I feel that that segment was kind of bad because then it will lead to Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch coming out and fighting Maria and Mike Kanellis.
Yes. And that one, good Lord, does anybody want to see that? No.
I mean, with no panties on. That would be fine.
That would be fine. But, WWE's not going to do that. But again, this is a match that didn't need to happen. Okay?
No.
In the end, it made Mike Kanellis look like a fucking jackass because he tapped out to Becky Lynch.
Completely destroyed. Buried. Done. First Monday Night Raw. And done.
So.
And done.
I just don't understand. Well, I do understand, pretty much Mike Kanellis is in the service of being WWE's bitch. So whatever WWE says, he has to do. So that's what a bitch is, pretty much, I guess. So sorry if I'm insulting anybody, but that's what he is getting paid to do, pretty much. He wanted back in 5-year contract. He accepted the money instead of trying to go somewhere else and be somebody, So, whatever.
Yeah, I feel that for that reason is that nobody watches the product. Nobody really watches the product. There's a lot of things that don't make any sense.
None.
And I feel that if you want me to be invested in something, the first thing that they do with Mike Kanellis, you have to tap out to the disarmer. How do you want to have some credibility for this guy when you're tapping out to the disarmer? And of course, Maria comes out, and Maria says, I'm pregnant, and you're not allowed to touch me, which I feel that they're going back to the TV-14 a little bit. But in the same time, do we really need to have those kind of storylines?
I'd like sexy storylines, but that's not.
But like sexy, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Maria is sexy. Don't get me wrong.
She's hot.
Maria's pretty hot. I feel that she's like one of the hottest divas that we had through the years in WWE. But when it comes to her and Mike, nobody believes in them.
No.
And the few people that actually see 205 Live, they probably know who they are and everything, but the ones that don't, the casual fans, don't know who Maria and Mike Kanellis are. So for that reason, I don't think that the best way to portray them is like, okay, you gotta tap out to this armor. So for him, you bring him 2 minutes and you're buried after that. So moving forward, what else do we have for Monday Night Raw?
Well, this is another thing that's been bothering me, are WWE's new stipulation on commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Because the next one is The Miz defeats Elias via submission.
2 out of 3 falls.
In 2 out of 3 falls, yes.
Did we need to see another 2 out of 3 falls?
Well, it's all because of this commercial thing. Like, they won't go to commercial break during a match. So it has to be, like, 2 out of 3 falls now. One pinfall happened within, like, 30 seconds. All right, commercial break.
It's just, the crush finale.
Then they went to commercial break. Then they came back from commercial break.
And Drift Away.
Drift Away was in, like, 2 minutes.
And done.
And then they went to commercial break, and then they finished the match.
And then, Elias tap out to the figure 4. Why is he doing still the figure 4?
Don't ask me, dude.
It's like, The Miz as babyface
Awful.
is fucking blows. He is not good as a babyface. If you want to get the best out of The Miz, just make him heel. There's no other way to put it, guys.
Then you were treading thin water, though, because I'm starting to see more heels than baby faces.
Yeah.
Especially after the end of Raw.
Well, yeah. After the end of Raw, even AJ Styles turn heel.
So
is that the next topic?
let's see here.
Because I think that like nobody cares about Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin.
The next one was one of, to me, I would put in the greatest wrestling matches of all time. It was Carmella defeats Alexa Bliss within 8 seconds.
That was
That is the greatest match Alexa Bliss has ever put on in her entire career. I'll actually say that was actually one of the best matches I've ever seen Alexa Bliss put on. It's probably the best match she has ever been in her entire career.
This guy right here, he absolutely despises Alexa Bliss.
Because what is she doing in the back?
Me, Alexa,
Okay.
I don't care what you do in the back. I still like you. I know you're limited in the ring.
You fucking blow in the ring.
But
That's why this match lasted all of 8 seconds.
But I don't think they're portraying you well either. Because how in the fuck you have Carmella beating her Alexa Bliss in 8 seconds and then Nikki Cross beats Carmella?
But that's what to me, at least, this is what they're leading up to. They're showing that Nikki Cross deserves the title match instead of Alexa
And you know
Bliss.
that's the truth.
It is.
I'm not against
because
that idea.
Alexa Bliss fucking blows.
But why? Okay, what's Carmella doing in that instance then?
Oh, she's fucking being a jobber.
Yeah. So to me, it doesn't make any sense. No.
So
To me, if you wanna change the storyline a little bit, make it a triple threat.
do you think they're that creative to do that, though?
Well, I mean, they have college degrees, right? So you will think that they're as creative, and they've been writing soap operas and TV shows and executive producers of like primetime shows.
I could write circles around these jackasses.
So that's the problem. The problem is
I'm still fucking high from all the Ativan I took yesterday.
And yet
I could still write circles around all those jackasses.
and that's my point. Is like there's no really a good way to make everybody look legit. Okay, you Bliss 8 seconds. Okay, like it doesn't matter. But okay, Carmella wins, beats Alexa, but then Nikki Cross beats Carmella.
For me, your opinion when it comes to a triple threat does make everybody look legit, because only one person will take the pin, and that's not their fault. If they you can look really strong in a triple threat match.
Exactly. For example, okay, I can even give you the outcome of that match. You make it a triple threat: Nikki, Alexa, and Bailey, right? And then Alexa fucks Nikki, and Bailey wins. Or buys, or like Nikki fucks Alexa, and still Bailey gets the pin, retains the championship. There's, like you said, there's so many outlets that you can go. There's so many routes that you can go when it comes to a triple threat match. But no, of course you gotta make this stupid bullshit that nobody cares about. So then, what do we have for the next?
Well, in the main event, we had a United States Championship match. Ricochet as the United States Champion taking on AJ Styles. This is the second week in a row that we've had this match, except last week it was not for the title.
And this time it was a United States Championship match.
Last week I was pissed off because AJ Styles beat Ricochet in a non-title match, and to me, champions should not be losing. Okay? That's why your titles look like bullshit.
And why don't they just have a DQ? You know?
I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I don't.
And this time Styles actually won the match, right?
In the beginning.
And then
Styles won, but some kind of bullshit took place.
No, the leg was still by the rope.
Was it underneath it?
Yeah, it was underneath the rope.
So I knew it was either on the rope or underneath.
I just know because we have a show named Raw Break, and you guys know that.
So, and then the referee said, "Oh no, had to be restarted." So the match gets restarted.
So all of a sudden now they restart matches. All of a sudden.
So the club though comes out, which is Carl Anderson and
Luke Gallows.
Luke Gallows. Now
Because they've been teasing that reunion.
Yes.
For the past couple of weeks.
They had skits.
Yeah.
They had skits on Raw. I know. But it kind of made both sides look really fucking like dumbasses.
Yeah. And that to me is hurting Styles' character.
A little bit.
A little bit. Yeah.
Now, in the end, Ricochet does get the win with a roll-up.
He retains the championship.
He does. But Gallows and Anderson are up on the apron saying, show him the real Styles. And he's trying to just push him back. No, you're good. Shakes his hand, shakes Ricochet's hand, but then gives him a hard right hand. Gallows and Anderson get in the ring, give him a magic killer, and then he's saying, hold him up. And he gives him a Styles Clash off the middle rope.
That was good.
That was nice.
I did enjoy. I did enjoy that. I did enjoy that move. Styles Clash from the second rope.
So, they've been teasing this, I think, for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was going to happen when he faced Rollins. But it didn't happen then, so now they did it here. My only worry here is you're starting to have, if you're going to continue the wild card rule, you're having a lot of heels and not so many baby faces that can challenge, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Can you name a number of baby faces that are going to be able to stand up to?
The only baby faces that you have, Miz, yeah, Ricochet, Rollins.
When the fuck's Aleister Black gonna come out?
And Aleister Black is a SmackDown dude.
The wild card rule does not exist.
Yeah. Oh, but Aleister Black. If he comes out, he's not gonna be face. I don't think so.
He was throughout NXT.
So you have Kofi Kingston, you have the New Day. Other than that, you don't have anybody.
That's what I mean.
Finn Balor.
Finn Balor.
But he's
the
IC champion. He's never there.
They never push him.
He's never there.
So to me, you are very low on a babyface.
Of course, Roman.
So who's gonna want to see that though?
Yeah, we know what's gonna happen. Also, Superman punch, spear, and done. But I don't really think so. I really don't think so. I agree with you. I think that there's not a lot of baby faces. But it is at least nice to see the club is back together again. Hopefully, instead of like going against the United States Championship, he pass Extreme Rules, we go and see him going against Seth Rollins again, because that to me will be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe AJ Styles beating Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship with the help of the club. Because that's nice. At least you create a group and you give them some kind of legitimacy by putting the title.
I wouldn't mind seeing that. My thing is, this should have happened when he first came in, and it should have been the club taking on the Shield.
Yeah, now there's no Shield, so
yeah,
and now there's no way to bring back the Shield unless you bring Jason Jordan back and you put him with Roman and Seth Rollins, because thank God Moxley's gone, and I don't think he wants to come back.
Why would he?
Yeah. So for that reason, I feel that the show was lame still. Nothing really changed. It's really hard to watch. The Ricochet and AJ Styles match, I think it was the best match of the night. But of course, there's one of the best two guys that the roster have. Going to SmackDown Live. SmackDown Live. It started out with Shane O'Mac and Elias. I feel, or no, Drew McIntyre. I'm sorry.
I think it's Drew.
It's Drew McIntyre. I see Shane O'Mac comes up with so many people that I've lost track. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's the Kevin Owens show, and it's Shane McMahon and
Drew McIntyre, the Kevin Owens show, and Dolph Ziggler comes out. Both of them are asking for championship matches, and Shane O'Mac makes the wonderful decision to actually team them up and challenge the Heavy Machinery. And whoever team wins, they will be added to the championship match on Extreme Rules with Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan, versus the New Day. To me, why in the hell are you having those kind of formations when you know that they're not going to win? Is it needed?
What I don't like is the typical opening promo where somebody else comes out and then a match gets started or is slated into the card, and I don't like that.
Yeah, in a way, it makes you think that they don't have anything planned.
No. Where at least on Monday Night Raw, I'll give them credit. You opened with a fucking match.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes.
I didn't think there was any difference when it came to all the fucking, sparks and shit flying all over the place. It's all been done before, so. But at least you open with a match, which is something that does not happen often.
It is true. It is true. I feel that, once again, we have the same shtick from Shane O'Mac, Drew McIntyre. Kevin Owens is upset. I don't know what Sami Zayn was this time. And you have to bring Dolph Ziggler to lose again.
Yep.
So that's how the show started. Of course, a lot of blah, blah, blah. Everybody wants to be in the championship match. But Shane, instead of making it a match between Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler, he makes them a team. That was the beginning of SmackDown Live. Then what match took place?
It's Big E taking on Daniel Bryan.
It was I think it was the New Day against Bryan and Rowan, right? Or it was just Bryan against Big E?
It says Daniel Bryan taking on Big E.
Yep, and Daniel Bryan won.
Yes.
Daniel Bryan won. Yes, we watched that. I think the match is decent overall. And of course you gotta let the heels win so they get a little bit of heat. And based on that, they will have the championship match at Extreme Rules. Was it a good match? Big E is a good wrestler. So is Daniel Bryan. They can put a good match, but we've seen that match over and over and over again. And if you think about it, because we watched that last week when the New Day faced Bryan and Rowan.
And I do not want to see the New Day taking on them for the tag.
So you're telling me that next week, hear my words, Xavier Woods will go against Rowan.
Yep.
And then either Xavier will get the win, and that sets up the
50-50 booking.
50-50 booking, and then what happens? And then Daniel Bryan and Rowan will win the championship match at Extreme Rules. But now at least they have the addition of Heavy Machinery, which we'll talk about in a little bit because that was the main event. But to me, again, these matches are okay. Nobody has any interest in them anymore because they're not really fighting for anything.
What are they fighting over? That's my question.
Yeah, so then to me, it's the same booking all the time. So do I really care about that? No. So what else took place?
Next, we have Nikki Cross hosts a Moment of Piss. And that turns into Bayley versus Nikki Cross once again.
That segment was, to me, like, shout out to JD or of the script. We watched that show. We're fans of that. The problem with that part of the show was that Nikki Cross comes out because Alexa tells her that she's gonna host a Moment of Piss. Nikki Cross comes out and the first thing she says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I have a little bit of an accent. I hope that everyone can understand me. I'm gonna talk very slow." Bayley comes out, and they start, of course, going back and forth against whether Alexa is a liar or not, which end up setting up a match between the two of them, and Bayley wins. So she gets the victory back from the loss that she has last week. The only good thing about the whole segment was that Bayley finally said, "Why you win matches for Alexa when you should be facing me on Extreme Rules for the title?" And it was the first time that you saw a little bit of doubt in Nikki Cross. So you think that, like, possibly in the near future, she's gonna turn against Alexa.
Be nice. Be something different.
And to me, again, make it a triple threat. That way is more interesting. Right there. Give Nikki Cross the chance that she deserves. I know at least she's being featured on TV, but that's because of Alexa.
Yeah.
Am I right or not?
You're right.
Because if it was for her own her wrestling ability or for her character, she will not be featured on TV. She just used as Alexa's sidekick because Alexa, throughout her career, she's needed a sidekick. Alicia Fox was one of them. Mickie James was one of them. And now is Nikki Cross. Nia Jax was one of them. So Bayley gets the win, and Nikki Cross loses. She seems hurt, basically because Alexa never came out. So moving forward.
Samoa Joe and Kofi Kingston stand face to face before Extreme Rules.
They were, talking wise, it was a good back and forth. And I feel that Kofi Kingston giving the finger to Samoa Joe was that a little bit of a piece right there of what Eric Bischoff can do. But at the same time, do you believe Kofi Kingston doing that?
No.
No. Why? Because throughout his title reign, he's been doing this.
Yep. With the fucking pancakes.
Throwing pancakes at people, and now all of a sudden you're upset.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you're upset. When Kevin Owens turned heel on you, you didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
When Dolph Ziggler attacked you from the back, you didn't give a fuck. So now, because it's Samoa Joe, of course you gotta give him the finger. We'll see how this rivalry keeps going, but to me, I don't think there's a lot of interest between a match between Kofi Kingston and Samoa Joe. Mostly, all of us will want to see Samoa Joe win the title.
Yep.
That will bring a little bit more interest in the WWE Championship. Because Kofi Kingston, I'm sorry, but his time ran out. Ran out really fast. Kofi Kingston needs to go back to the same place that he's always had, a mid-card.
I agree. But I know that what they're trying to do is trying to get him to SummerSlam where he'll lose the title there.
Yeah, you're right. Probably against either, they say, Shane O'Mac. That might be the next contender. Or Roman. And of course, if that's the case, then of course you won't see the product will never change. It's just the same old shit that we've been watching for the past 5 years.
Longer.
I will say the last time that, like, we had an interesting storyline, it was Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
It was Daniel Bryan in 2014 when he faced the Authority. That was interesting to see.
It was, but I don't give credit to the writers for it.
Oh no, I will say it's actually the fans who bitch about Daniel Bryan, and they were able. Vince was one of the few times that he actually listened to the fans, and he gave us what we wanted.
Yep.
And that was to see Daniel Bryan as the WWE champion. So what else came after that?
These poor guys.
Apollo Crews
and Andrade
Cien Almas. Is a rivalry that to me doesn't have any reason to take place.
No.
Meaningless rivalry for a guy that should be top tier talent like Andrade Cien Almas. And I'm not saying this. I will say this in every single podcast that we have. I'm not saying that because he's Hispanic. I'm just saying that because of the character that he had on NXT.
No doubt.
The alliance that he has with Selena Vega is absolutely great. Those two portrayed great characters on TV. And that's the only reason that I think that Andrade Cien Almas should be featured as the main event player.
Plus, he's a fantastic wrestler.
Thank you. Thank you. That's all you need.
Absolutely.
His English is improving.
For me,
Thanks to Charlotte.
For me, it doesn't even matter about the English. For me, I want Zelina Vega to talk Spanish, or I should say talk English, and I want him to talk Spanish.
Yes.
That's what I want. I want him to talk Spanish, and whatever he says, Zelina Vega is going to translate.
Yes.
That's his character.
That's why they have a alliance.
Yes.
They're a duo. They're business partners.
Exactly. That's what she's there for.
Yeah. So to me, I know you're trying to portray Apollo Crews as a believable contender, but Apollo Crews, there's no charisma there.
No.
Good wrestler, don't get me wrong.
Excellent wrestler.
Great wrestler.
But lack of charisma.
But lack of charisma. So of course, and the way that he wins though, to me, a match like that should be a 90% Almas and a 10 Crews. Almas should be like dominating the whole match, hammerlock DDT, and done.
Yep.
Selena has to help him out. She does the Hurricanrana into the announcer's table, and hammerlock DDT and done. Why Almas has to suffer with a guy that is not top tier like Apollo Crews? That's my main problem when it comes to the storytelling in this kind of episode of SmackDown Live. Your thoughts about it?
Well, for me, I'm okay with it simply because Apollo Crews is excellent in the ring. And I'm thinking that's why maybe they gave it more time. But as a character, I agree 100%. Like, what has he done since he came to the main roster? At first, he was with nobody. Then he was with Titus.
And then,
helping him cook the chicken and the stir fry
he became,
and the gravy. And
then he joined the fast food business, and then he started catering. He started like to marinate in the chicken. He started to like make potato salad and all of that. And then he just went to meaningless rivalries.
So.
And then he was feuding against Sheamus and Cesaro. I would say that was the only thing that caught interest.
Yeah.
For the Raw tag titles. Other than that,
nothing.
We don't even know how this rivalry even started.
Well, what are they fighting over?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing. So, once again, where's Finn Balor? Where's Shinsuke Nakamura? Where's Rusev? Where's Buddy Murphy?
Well, Rusev's contract is about to run up.
So he might go to AEW.
I would love to see that.
It would be really great to see All Out Alexander Rusev come out.
Yep.
And challenge either Jericho or Hangman Page for the AEW Heavyweight Championship. See, there's our booking right there. We're booking for the future. So then the main event, I think it is Dolph Ziggler against the Heavy Machinery with Kevin Owens. Was there something else before that? Oh yeah, Amber Moon.
Yeah, do you want to talk about Mandy Rose?
Mandy Rose versus Amber Moon.
And their ongoing
According
lesbian...
to the sources that we have, there's in the works a storyline, a lesbian storyline between Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. I guess that's one of the steps that our WWE is taking to make the storylines more contemporary. And Amber Moon is added into this feud. And last week she lost to Sonya Deville. And this week she actually got a win over Mandy Rose. So we don't know where this is going. But according to our sources, that's where the storyline might be heading when it comes to the duo of Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. They're going to be portrayed in a lesbian couple.
If that happens, I want to see full-on make-out sessions, stuff like that.
We have pictures with both of them. I want to say Sonya Deville was very nice. She was very outgoing, very social. She wanted to talk to everybody. Mandy Rose a little bit on the quiet side, probably because she thinks that we're all going to go and be hitting on her, which it wasn't the case.
No.
But, I mean, we hope that to see if the storyline goes in fruition for that. Hopefully that we see a lot of making out. I'll have something more that will catch our attention, because right now they're not really doing anything.
No.
And I'm sorry, but Amber Moon should be fighting for a championship and not being inserted in this kind of like ridiculous things that take place in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
What it was, 5 minutes of a match, eclipse, done. Now after 5 minutes of that, we go to the main event, which was Heavy Machinery versus Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler. And number to be added on the championship match at Extreme Rules, or the tag titles. Good match. At the end of the day, Dolph Ziggler screws up, and Heavy Machinery gets the win.
Yep.
So at least they're still keeping their spot in contendership for the tag titles.
I like that. I like that Heavy Machinery is still around. I like that. It seems like they're not at least throwing them to the wayside, and they're at least keeping them in contention.
Yes, and yeah, exactly. Now it's not like they're just gonna have one pay-per-view and then done. To me, I think is good that like they're still fighting for the championship. That means that at some point they're gonna win the championship.
Yeah.
And Ziggler and Kevin Owens, well, two wasted talents right there.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but Kevin Owens is a great wrestler, great talent, but unfortunately lost in the shuffle. And what can we say about Dolph Ziggler? He's been lost in that shuffle for years.
I'm not going near that, dude.
The last time that like he actually had some kind of a story to tell, or he was trying to be meaningful, when he won the United States Championship in a triple threat match with Bobby Roode. And then he relinquished the title the night after.
Yeah,
and still we're waiting for that explanation.
Yep.
So Dolph, if you're listening to us, which you probably are, because we want to thank you for all the support that we're giving us. All of you guys are making this happen, and a lot of better things are coming for us. Dolph, if you're listening to us, can you tell us what happened with like your United States Championship run? Why did you relinquish the title, bro? We just want to know.
He got offered more money.
And that's how you relinquished the title?
It was storyline.
We just want to. He came out in the Royal Rumble that we were there, number 30. We were looking forward to see him win. 3 minutes, out. Not even in the final 3.
He only cares about money.
Not even in the final 3.
Because he could have left and gone to New Japan. He could have gone somewhere else.
He could be feuding with Kenny Omega or Cody Rhodes.
No doubt.
And they could have a great story with Brandy. But of course, he cares a lot more about money and his comedy stuff. Dolph, you're a great wrestler. I'm a fan. But your decision making is a little bit questionable. So, when it comes to... Before we end this, we want to keep thanking you for your support. And we want to tell you, like, if you keep watching, keep sharing, and keep becoming members of Bro Break, we have a lot of goodies for you. We have, there you go, Tyler Black and John Moxley. Before you guys even know that he was named John Moxley, there you go. 20 years ago. There it is. The best of the Lucha Bros. Pentagon and Phoenix. There you go. Their beginnings. The Monday Night Wars with Jericho, Eric Bischoff, and Bruce Pritchard. If you guys subscribe, comment in the page, we'll be sending you these DVDs. All for free. You don't have to become a member of Patreon. You don't have to become any member of anything. Just subscribe to our page.
Send us, though, your information and everything.
Send us the information. We have the base of Daniel Bryan when he was Bryan Danielson. See, for people that don't know. Matches with CM Punk. Better matches than the ones from WWE. Right here for you guys. For all the wrestling fans around. And we have Bam Bam Bigelow, the Beast from the East. We even have more coming. Just gotta subscribe. Help us out. And this is the end of our show for today. We hope you enjoyed. We hope all of you are enjoying the summer. And we'll be back from soon with more Robrick. Ada!